Hi, this is Deacon Larry, and this is Renewed. Welcome back to another episode of Renewed. We're delighted to have Kelly back with us. And so, Kelly, if you'd like to say a little about yourself.
Hello, my name is Kelly Jones. I'm a parishioner here at St. Teresa's, and my husband works here in the communications department. And I'm excited to quiz you again.
Very good. I'm excited to be quizzed.
So, recently, the relics of St. Bernadette came to visit in Houston at Our Lady of Walsingham. Why are there relics? Why do we venerate relics? What do they mean?
People very often have questions about relics. It's a very interesting kind of dimension of our Catholic faith. I was thinking earlier about the concept of relics and the way we think about people, places, and things. You know, if you think about going to Mount Vernon, where President Washington lived, you go and visit his farmhouse and see all of the things where he lived. And it's an important place in our psyche as Americans. Or to be able to go and visit his grave, to go and see utensils that he used, or perhaps even his wooden dentures that are famous. The same thing happens for us as human beings when we think about the people of our faith. It's the places and the people and the things that become important for us. So it's not uncommon to journey to Rome, to go to the Vatican. And if you go to the Vatican, you're likely to see a number of saints around Rome or in the Vatican itself. Pope John XXIII has been on display, his body in a glass casket, a wonderful way for us to connect. And that's one of the real important things, is we connect with things we see. That's why we use water and wine and bread and oil. The things that make our sacraments are things that we can touch and see, and so relics are important for that. Now we have this very interesting feature of Catholicism, and that certain relics are very, very tiny, minuscule. You might find a relic of the true cross. St. Helen, the mother of the Emperor Constantine, discovered the true cross in Jerusalem. And there are very shards of that are preserved as relics, but there are also shards of bone of saints, or our own founding pastor I've talked about before, who in Vienna rescued the arm of the Emperor of Hungary at the end of World War II. It was one of their most famous relics, was the arm of St. Stephen. And so relics, whether it's a heart, it may be feet, it may be legs and arms, we're not that all interested in disconnecting people, but we are interested in sharing people's access to the saints. And the relics give us a way to intimately connect with that. There's the ancient practice in the church even of, in every church altar, there are buried relics. In our own altar, when it was rededicated at St. Teresa's here, we have 4 saints who were there. And so every time we gather at St. Teresa's, we gather with the physical relic of St. Teresa of Lisieux, so our founder, our patron saint, St. Catherine of Siena, one of the great dynamic women Dominican saints, St. Francis of Assisi, so we've got the Dominicans and the Franciscans, so we're in good shape. A St. Clara, not St. Clare of Assisi, but a 3rd century martyr, and St. Desiderius, another martyr. So there in our altar are these 5 saints that connect us, quite frankly, across the history of the church, from the earliest centuries on to the 19th century. So relics give us a way to connect. I was in Cyprus on a vacation a number of years ago and just happened to stop into a church. And there in the church was a reliquary. That's what you call that place where a relic is kept. Sometimes it looks like a tabernacle, sometimes like a trunk, sometimes like a casket. It's a reliquary. And in this reliquary was the head of St. Philip the Apostle. An amazing thing to kind of stumble into in an odd, out-of-the-way church in Cyprus. It had been carried from Jerusalem, traded over and carried across places in the war, and this is where it landed. Again, a place that people were attracted and connected in a very physical way then with the mission and ministry of St. Philip, who was an evangelist. And so relics help us to be connected with the saints. We'll talk perhaps in another episode about what do relics do for us?
Please like, subscribe, or comment below.